Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a review of the new fragrance to the Narciso Rodriguez lineup, VETIVER Musk. This is a very aromatic, bright, woody scent with a very odd note breakdown. Let's jump in and do a first impression review. So you can see the bottle here. It's kind of this like green blue color, kind of gives you a little bit of this like ocean color, like kind of mossy in a way, which will make sense when you hear the notes. So the notes in here, we have cypress and cardamom with nutmeg, with musk, geranium, lavender, red algae, which is a little concerning to see, frankincense, vetiver, cedar, and patchouli. So my very first thought with this fragrance is that it opens very similar to Mont Blanc Explore Platinum, which is a fragrance that you guys know that I really like. I haven't talked about it in a long time, but I used to talk about it nonstop, like maybe a year ago. But it takes this kind of like icy metallic edge to the scent, but with some interesting twists underneath. It's a very creamy scent. Everything feels very creamy. The lavender, the geranium, and the geranium adds a little bit of classiness and dressiness with these kind of slight earthy elements. And honestly, it kind of gives off a little bit of this kind of coconutty vibe to me. I get something a little bit from Le Beau in here, but I also get something from Paradise Garden. Very, very slight, but I do get it in a very distant way. And into the mid, it starts to get very minty feeling. And the geranium changes as well in the mid and kind of boosts that mintiness as well. With that cypress as well, this green mintiness mixed with this cypress. It's kind of this interesting combination of like how you picture it is you're either walking through a garden on one side or you're walking through a forest, like a kind of earthy, kind of like damp forest. It's super masculine, but very fresh and crisp and dressy. It's going to be an excellent summer scent. You can easily wear this anywhere, anytime, any place. Casual, dressy, day-to-day, gym, beach, like there's so many occasions that this will work for. The thing is with this though is that when it gets into the dry down, it kind of loses this impressiveness. The mid and dry down is a little bit of a letdown. I still like this scent, but like I mentioned, it reminds me of so many other things. It reminds me of Mont Blanc Explore Platinum. It reminds me of Paradise Garden, which you guys know I did not like that fragrance at all. But this kind of takes that Paradise Garden-esque kind of like distant cousins, but that kind of feel in a much better, like well-created way. I feel like Paradise Garden was very choppy and synthetic and horrible, and I don't understand the hype on that one at all. This is much better and a great alternative if you share my beliefs as well on Paradise Garden. But I do get that coconut feel in this. But yes, you could wear this day to day, the gym, the beach. This would even be a very nice office fragrance. It's a very inoffensive scent that definitely has a quality to it. It does feel very well blended. It doesn't feel screechy or synthetic or rough in any way. It is very creamy and very smooth smelling. The only thing is that you could get something like Explore Platinum for probably like a third of the price, and it's gonna give you a similar vibe. But Narciso Rodriguez generally is pretty cheap on discounters once it hits it. This is a brand new fragrance, so I don't think that it's going to be there for a while. It's very likable, very enjoyable, but it does feel a little bit redundant. Not so redundant, like, I don't know, like sometimes I feel like with certain designers it just blends in with everything else. I feel like this is not really going to do that, but it does remind me of other things. But I do think it's going to be a great alternative for Paradise Garden. Reminds me of a lot of other things, but it does smell really great. You can't deny it. It is a very nice fragrance. A little bit of a letdown just because of, I don't know what I was expecting, but the mid and the dry down of this really, when I first smelled it, the opening, I'm like, oh wow. And then the mid, I'm like, all right. And then the dry down, I'm kind of like, eh. Because it's interesting because it goes from being this very likable fragrance to, in the dry down, it's still likable, but it just has this kind of flat feeling in the dry down. Like there's no emotion to it. You know, it's one of those scents that you smell and you just think, yeah, it smells good, but it's not like a wow factor, like mind-blowing, this is so crazy good. You know, it doesn't have that kind of effect. It's really just going to be a good fragrance for someone that just wants something very safe. You don't have to think twice about it. It's something that people are going to really like. Kind of has a little bit of a clean element to it as well. I don't really get too much cardamom in this, but I do get this kind of coconut feel, I will say. This kind of like powdery coconut in the dry down. Smells nice, classic, very simple. This is going to be, I think, a little bit polarizing, and don't get fooled by the opening when you test this. Please try this in stores. I think they carry it at Macy's. Do not walk in there and spray it and be like, just buying it off of the opening. You need to wait to the dry down, and you need to spray it on your skin as well, because it's going to really change. I think that with the opening, you're gonna be like, yeah, this is really nice. And then in the dry down, you're gonna be like, what happened? It's a little bit flat, but I don't want to like really bash the scent itself, because it is a nice, enjoyable, just very safe scent. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's always going to be a time and a place for a fragrance that you don't have to worry if people are gonna like it or not. You know, like just easy to wear, perfect for the office for the summertime, with a little bit of a kind of summery vibe from this kind of coconutty vibe. I don't know if I'm the only one that gets that, but I definitely feel it in this. You're not going to get a big wow factor with it. It's just one of those scents that's kind of there, nice and clean, with a little bit of vetiver and patchouli in the dry down. I'm not sure if I'm going to be keeping this in my collection or not. It might be a pass for me. I'm going to continue testing it out. But my first impression was, love the opening, a little bit let down in the dry down. I do think that at this point, you can do better things with your money, but most importantly, you just need to test it out for yourself. So guys, that was just my quick first impression review of the new fragrance from Narciso Rodriguez, Vetiver Musk for him. It's gonna be a little polarizing. You definitely need to test it out for yourself in store. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment below if you've tried this fragrance. What do you think about it? Are you a fan of Narciso Rodriguez? I would love to know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.